Last year, we celebrated the 40th anniversary of the Voyager spacecraft, a mission that revealed to us the wonders of the outer planets of the solar system and the first sampling of interstellar space. It is because of Gary Flandro that the Voyager mission was made possible. Dr. Flandro is a leading figure in combustion instability, fluid dynamics, and aerospace systems. While studying for his master's degree at Caltech, he began working part-time at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. In the mid-1960s, JPL was launching various missions to the moon and nearby planets, and Dr. Flandro joined the Mariner 10 team, calculating how to use a gravity assist maneuver for the first time in a flyby mission. After his work on Mariner, Dr. Flandro investigated whether gravity assist, that is, employing the gravitational force of a planet to speed up and alter the trajectory of spacecraft, could be used to reach the outer planets. Searching for a way to slingshot a spacecraft from planet to planet, he calculated the positions over time of Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Remarkably, he found that the outer planets would all align on the same side of the sun during the 1980s, a configuration that would not reoccur for another 176 years. Seeking to capitalize on this remarkable opportunity to visit all 4 outer planets in one fell swoop, he calculated how gravity assist could boost a spacecraft to the correct speeds in order to skip from one planet to the other. With the help of a room-sized computer and its technicians, and also the human computers who made the complex calculations for early space missions, Dr. Flandro created the trajectory simulations, reducing a possible mission's flight time from 40 years to less than 10. Voyager 1 and 2 launched in 1977 and succeeded in exploring Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, including their unique system of rings and 48 of their moons. In 2013, Voyager 1 became the first human-made object to exit the heliosphere. It is now more than 20 billion kilometers from our sun and still traveling and still communicating. After JPL, Dr. Flandro continued his academic career with professorial positions at the University of Utah and the Georgia Institute of Technology before joining the University of Tennessee Space Institute as the Bowling Chair of Excellence in Space Propulsion in 1991. Since 2005, he has worked at Gloyer Taylor Laboratories, a high-tech company specializing in technologies for the aerospace industry. Dr. Flandro has been honored most recently with the 2016 Wild Propulsion Award from the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics. In an interview for a local television program, he traced the roots of his fascination with rocket science and space. My mother gave me a book when I was just 6 years old for Christmas that showed all of the planets all lined up. I said, gosh, it looks like we ought to be able to go from the Earth and through the solar system. I thought that would be a wonderful thing to do. That may have sowed the seeds for some things that happened later. Gary.
This is such an incredible honor. It's very hard for me to find exactly the right words to thank everybody that's been involved in making it happen for me, proper credit. But anyway, it's really an honor to be here. And what I thought I would do, since the time is very short, I just want to try to give you an idea of how I came to be standing right here. Now that means I would have to go through, if I did it properly, a list of about over 100 people, many of them Caltech graduates and professors that I've had the honor to work with. But I won't subject you to that. I think that would, if I did that right, I would have to go through every one of the names. So I'm not going to do that. I'll pick a couple, though, that I think were very important to me. The whole thing started for me when I was, of course, very young. You heard one of the stories there that my mother got me off on the right track and continued to guide me throughout my life. And I finally found myself at the University of Utah as an undergraduate student. I should tell you this, though. There was one person that I need to mention, and that's, never mind, I'm going to skip him. He'll come in later. Okay. I need to probably skip more of them, too, but I'm going to give you one that I really found to be very important to everything I've done. So I was at the University of Utah. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to study, but I thought engineering. I was really interested in robots and, of course, anything to do with flight. Space flight had not really shown up as anything that was really possible or practical, but I wanted to learn the things that would make it possible to accomplish things in that direction. I started without a very good math background, and so I took some of the classes at the University of Utah to get myself going the right direction. If you can believe it, trigonometry was the first one I really had to get right. So here I am, this was back in about 1952. I go into the classroom being taught in trigonometry, and here stands this young man, very young. He couldn't have been too much older than me, I thought. Little red-headed guy, really beautiful guy. And he starts to teach me trigonometry. I immediately saw here's something different than anything I'd ever experienced. The way he talked, the way he handled himself, I could see this is the kind of guy I need to get more classes from. And I did take more of his classes. His name was Eugene Parker. Some of you may know the name. He was a graduate of Caltech. He graduated in 1951 in physics. He went to the University of Utah to start his teaching career. And I don't know how, this is the most wonderful thing that ever happened. I think if that class was not there, I would not be here. So anyway, he taught me trigonometry. I took his classes. By the way, just so you'll know who he is the first person whose name has ever been used by NASA for one of their space probes. It's called the Parker solar mission, which is going to be launched this July, I think, which is going to be the closest object ever taken to the sun. It's going to be within a couple of percent of the distance from the sun. It's way down close. The temperatures there being hotter than they are inside of a rocket motor, okay, to make measurements. And he's the guy that really understood the solar wind, and a lot of the work he did led to our understanding of that important concept. I could go on and on with all the things that he's done, but I'm sure look on the internet and you'll find out all about it. But Parker was a really, really wonderful guy. He probably would not remember me, but I was one of his first students. I took his astronomy class, which was a very inspiring class as well. So that got me started, and I said, all the way along, this is the kind of thing I want to do. I want to teach like that guy, and I want to go where he went, so I found out he had gone to Caltech. So I already knew, the seed was already sown, that I needed to come here for my graduate work. And then a long group of people come into mind. There were other graduates of Caltech that were there at the University of Utah that I took classes from. They were very inspiring. One of them, Marlo Johnson, was a graduate of the aeronautics program here. And he convinced me that we should do something that no one had tried before, and that was to make a supersonic wind tunnel in our aero lab at the University of Utah. So I built Utah's first supersonic wind tunnel and tested it successfully. And I don't know, I still think that, and I wrote a bachelor's degree thesis on that work, if you can imagine anything like that. So anyway, that got me started in the right direction. I won't give all the details of what happened next, but I ended up working with a company that was doing work for JPL on the Sergeant rocket. They sent me off to work at JPL. They wanted me to learn about the details of what we were doing. So I got a chance then to go to JPL, and that really got me started. Here I am now in a sea of Caltech grads, and I can't possibly give justice to all the people there that influenced everything I did. And off we went, and it took many years to finally get there. I got my master's degree. One of the Caltech grads convinced me I should go to the campus and get my graduate degrees, and I did. I got my master's degree and came back later to do my PhD degree. And then that was really the time when everything was going, right? You got a pretty good glimpse of how it all was going and what happened to make the Grand Tour mission possible. And I won't bother you. He's already given you a good history, so I don't need to go through that. But anyway, this has been a wonderful experience, and all of it has been made possible by the association I've had with JPL and with Caltech. It's been a wonderful time. They've made my life work. So thank you very much, and I really appreciate this award. Thank you.